Hello, lovely crocheters, and welcome to Forest Feather Fashion. I'm Candice, and today we're making this gorgeous Bohemian style tunic. This design is not only beautiful, but way easier to make than you might think. Plus, it's tailored to your own body measurements, so there's no need to fuss over gauge or specific yarn weight. This garment is super versatile. Throw it over a long sleeve top and some leggings for a cozy vibe, or style it up with a cute dress and a belt. It's made from just two identical rectangles joined at the neck and along the underarms. And can we even call it boho style without adding some tassels? For this project, I'm using a light beige cotton and acrylic blend yarn from Kismet, a lovely brand I discovered on my recent trip back to South Africa. It's a medium weight yarn and suggests using a 4mm hook, but I want a more relaxed stitch, so I'm going to use a 6mm hook. Feel free to use whatever hook works best with your chosen yarn. You'll also need a pair of scissors, a measuring tape, a yarn needle, some stitch markers, and a book to help with the tassels. Let's get started. First up, we'll need to take our measurements. Measure yourself from shoulder to shoulder and jot that number down. Mine measured at about 17 inches. If you have a larger bust size, then you could always add 2 to 4 inches so that it will fit more comfortably. Now measure the length you would like your garment to be. I'd like mine to fall just over my upper thighs, so that measured to around 26 inches long. You can of course decide to go slightly shorter than this or to make a full-length tunic. Grab your yarn and hook because we're about to begin crocheting the rectangular panels. We'll start by making a slip knot. I wrap the yarn around my middle and index fingers twice to make an X, push the yarn under the X, pull the loop out, and insert your hook. Pull tight to make a slip knot. Now we will be chaining in multiples of 12 plus 2. I am chaining 62 as this measures to around my shoulder width of 17 inches. This will give me 5 diamond shapes going across the panel, but you'll need to chain as many as you need to get to your shoulder measurement, and then either add or subtract a few to get to a multiple of 12 plus 2. Once you have your chain, we can now begin with row 1. Here we are going to yarn over and insert a double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. Insert your hook and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Yarn over again and pull through the remaining 2 loops. Make a double crochet in the next 3 chain stitches. The chain 4 in the beginning counts as 1 double crochet, so we will have a total of 5 double crochets so far. Chain 3, yarn over and skip 2 chain stitches and make a double crochet in the 3rd. Now make double crochets in the next 9 chain stitches to give a total of 10 double crochets in this section. Here we chain 3, skip 2 chain stitches, and make another 10 double crochets in every chain stitch across. When you have 10 double crochets, chain 3, skip 2 chain stitches, and make another 10 double crochets. Continue this pattern until you only have 5 chain stitches left. Double crochet in each of these last 5 stitches. You'll notice that the 5 double crochets in the end match to the 5 double crochets we did in the beginning of row 1. Onto row 2. Turn your work and chain 3. This first chain counts as a double crochet throughout the entire pattern. Yarn over and insert a double crochet into the next stitch. Make one more double crochet to have a total of 3, and then we'll chain 3. Here we will be making a single crochet in the chain 3 space. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both loops on the hook. Chain 3, yarn over, skip 2 double crochets and make a double crochet in the next 6 double crochet stitches. Chain 3, skip the next 2 double crochets and make a single crochet in the chain 3 space. Chain 3, skip the next 2 double crochet stitches and make 6 double crochets in the next 6 stitches. Skip the next 2 double crochets, chain 3 and make a single crochet in the chain 3 space. Continue this pattern along row 2. When you get to the last chain 3 space, chain 3, skip 2 stitches and make 2 double crochets in the double crochet stitches, and then 1 double crochet in the 3rd stitch of the turning chain for a total of 3 double crochets, just like the start of row 2. This can be a little tricky sometimes, but it helps to think about how amazing the end result will be. And that's row 2 done. For row 3, turn your work and chain 6. This counts as 1 double crochet and a chain 3. Make a single crochet in the chain 3 space, chain 3, and make a single crochet in the next chain 3 space. Chain 3 again, skip 2 double crochet stitches and make 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches. Chain 3, skip 2 double crochets and make a single crochet in the chain 3 space. chain 3, and make a single crochet in the next chain 3 space. Chain 3, skip 2 stitches, and make 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches. Chain 3, and make a single crochet in the chain 3 space. Continue this pattern until you get to the last few stitches of the row. After your last single crochet in the chain space, chain 3, yarn over, and make a double crochet in the 3rd stitch of the turning chain. Onto row 4. Turn your work and chain 3. Yarn over and insert 2 double crochets into the chain 3 space. Chain 3, and make a single crochet in the next chain 3 space. Chain 3, place 2 double crochets in the chain 3 space, and a double crochet in each of the 2 double crochet stitches. Then make another 2 double crochets in the chain 3 space, chain 3, and single crochet in the chain space. Chain 3, make 2 double crochets in the chain space, and 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches, followed by 2 double crochets in the next chain space. Continue this pattern until you get to the last few stitches. After your last chain 3, make 2 double crochets in the chain 3 space, and then 1 double crochet in the 3rd stitch of the turning chain. Having a look at what we have completed so far, we have 1 space in row 1, then 2, 3, and back to 2. So row 5 will only have 1 space to complete the diamond pattern. For row 5, turn your work and chain 3. Make a double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Make 2 double crochets in the chain 3 space, chain 3, 2 double crochets in the next chain 3 space, and then a double crochet in every stitch across to the next chain space. Here we will insert 2 double crochets, we'll chain 3 and make 2 double crochets in the next chain 3 space. After your last chain 3, make 2 double crochets in the chain 3 space, and then a double crochet in both double crochet stitches, and finish off with 1 double crochet in the third stitch of the turning chain. And this is the main pattern completed. Now we will repeat rows 2 to 5 until your rectangle is as long as your preferred length measurement. Crocheting this first strip of diamond shapes can be a little confusing, but trust me, by the third row of diamond shapes, you will have the pattern down. A little trick to help is once you have turned your work and chained 3, you can look down your project and copy exactly what you did for that part of the diamond in the previous rows. You will need to make 2 of these rectangular panels for the front and back of your garment. I've made both of my panels the exact same size, but if you wanted to change up the style a bit, you could always make the back panel slightly longer. Mine has 5 diamonds across and 12 diamonds down. This measures to about 26 inches in length. It's time to crochet. Have you ever noticed how the outside world seems to drift away as soon as you pick up your yarn and hook? It's like entering a space of pure creativity and imagination. With each loop, you're transforming a single skein of yarn into something entirely new and beautiful. As you begin, try weaving a little mindfulness into each stitch. Picture yourself, or if you're creating this for someone else, envision them wrapped in the warmth and love of your creation. Holding a kind intention as you work can bring a unique energy to your project, almost as if that feeling is flowing directly from your hands into the piece itself. I wanted my garment to embody a calm and comfortable feel, so I surrounded myself with soft candlelight and inspiring objects to deepen that energy. Crochet can be more than just a craft. It can become an experience, a moment of quiet magic unfolding in your hands. To finish off your panels, you will end on a row 5. After your double crochet in the turning chain, you can cut your work and pull the tail through to make a knot. Let's do a size check. Hold up one of the pieces to your body and just double check that it's the length you want. If not, you can always add another 1 or 2 diamond strips to your panel. Next, we will need to determine how wide we want the neck hole to be. Grab your stitch marker and place a panel up against your shoulders. Position a finger at the width you'd like and place a stitch marker in a stitch on one of the sides. Once that's in position, you can get a second stitch marker and place it in the same stitch on the other side of the panel top. To sew the two panels together, make sure that you place both panels right sides facing each other. For this pattern, they only look slightly different on either side, so that's up to you which side you'll use as the right sides. Secure the stitch markers into the same stitch on both panels to secure them together. I will be using a yarn needle to sew my panels together, but you can use any method you prefer. I usually join projects using just my crochet hook. I have a video on 3 different ways to join projects using your crochet hook if you'd like to check it out. I'll put it in the link in the description. I'm cutting a strand of yarn and pulling it through the yarn needle. I insert the yarn through and tie a knot at the end. I'm just weaving through the stitches side to side and then tying a knot at the stitch marker. There are so many different methods to sewing up your crochet garments, so I suggest trying a few different ways to see which one you like the most. Sew up both sides of your neck hole, and then we can put it on to make sure that we like it. If you are happy with the size of your neck hole, then it's time to move on to the armhole sizing. I'd like mine to be a little loose, so that I can wear long sleeve tops and maybe a thin jumper underneath. I'm going to join both panels with my stitch marker just under the 4th diamond pattern on my garment. This might be different on yours, so just put your stitch marker wherever feels comfortable for you. Move around a little to see if it fits nicely. Then grab your second stitch marker and decide how far down you want the join to go. I've decided to have longer slits down the sides, so I will be joining until the start of my hips. This way, wearing a belt over the tunic will look balanced. You can, of course, sew this together further up or down to achieve the style that you want. Now you can sew up the sides of your panels. When you have completed one side, place the 2 stitch markers into the corresponding stitches on the other side of the garment and sew it up too. Now it's time for the most tedious part of crocheting, weaving in the ends. Yep, it takes a while, but the feeling of putting on a well-made garment is so worth it. You can also choose to block your garment to give it more shape and lock in the stitches, but that is up to you and the type of yarn that you have used. Grab your scissors, yarn, and book because we're about to cut some tassels. I chose my book size according to how long I'd like my tassels to be. I don't want them too long, so I've opted for a medium-sized book. Wrap the yarn around the book a couple of times. You can always cut more tassels later, so it's best not to go overboard in the beginning. Grab your scissors and cut the yarn along the inside of the book. Make sure your garment is the right side out before attaching the tassels. I usually start in the very middle of the garment. You fold the yarn in half, push your hook through the back of a stitch, loop the yarn over the hook, pull this through, and then pull the tails through the loop. Pull on the ends to make a tight knot. I'm attaching tassels to each chain space first, and then in between them, and then in between those. I find by attaching the tassels like this, I'm balancing them out. By doing it like this, I can decide if I want to add more for a fuller look, or if I'm happy with just a few tassels throughout. I usually steam my tassels straight before I cut them into shape. To cut the tassels, you can use the same book and line it up to a specific part of the pattern. Push down and cut the tassel ends. Make sure they are lying down as flat and straight as possible before cutting them to get an even length. Well, my lovely crocheters, we have completed our bohemian style tunic. Now put it on and admire your beautiful work. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up and let me know what color yarn you are using in the comments below. I would love to see your creations, so please do tag me on Instagram at Forest Feather Fashion. Stay tuned for more easy to follow tutorials and tips on sustainable fashion. My next video is going to be a must make for winter months. Until next time, happy creating!